Well, first of all, he raises the issue of the Foreign Secretary. Let me tell you, I think we have an excellent Foreign Secretary. And when it comes to it, there's only one person I can remember round here knifing a Foreign Secretary, and I think I'm looking at him. Yeah. There we are. It's just the usual pre-scripted questions he'd dreamt up earlier. But the fact is, has he got a reform plan for the NHS? No. Has he got a police reform plan? Has he got a plan to cut the deficit? No wonder, going back to the former Foreign Secretary, no wonder the former Foreign Secretary has just said this. The left is losing elections on an unprecedented scale because it's lost control of the political agenda, it's losing key arguments, and it has a deficit in ideas. That's what he said, and he's absolutely right. The day after his shadow chancellor was asked on the television, could he think of one single business leader? And do you know what he said? Do you know what he said, Mr. Speaker? He said, Bill somebody. Mr. Speaker, Bill somebody's not a person, Bill somebody's Labour's policy. What we need to do, both in Britain and Europe, is to combine the fiscal deficit reduction, which has given us the low interest rates, with an active monetary policy, with structural reforms to make us competitive, and with innovative ways of using our hard-won credibility, which we wouldn't have if we listened to the muttering idiot sitting opposite me. Calm down, dear. Calm down. Listen to the doctor. Calm down and listen to the doctor. Howard Stote, GP, says this. My discussions with fellow GPs reveal overwhelming enthusiasm for the... I said calm down. There is a group of people on this side of the House who want some rebalancing, a group of people who want a lot of rebalancing, and a complete mug who wants no rebalancing at all. There are moments I think I'm up against Basil Brush. I mean, first of all, where we discovered a new duo, Red Ed and Redder Ed. I'm looking forward to discussing these things. Look, of course. Isn't it extraordinary? The Shadow Chancellor, after last week and all of that, he's at it again, heckling again. But we learned something last week. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. There we are. Oh! I tell you what's going down. His career is going down. That is what is going down. Ah! We've got a new hand gesture from the Shadow Chancellor. Today's briefing in the papers, the hand gesture for the Shadow Chancellor should be bye-bye. You don't need it to be Christmas to know when you're sitting next to a turkey. I have to say, Mr. Speaker, I almost feel sorry for Labour MPs. They can't talk about the deficit because it's fallen. They can't talk about growth because it's rising. They can't talk about jobs because we're increasing them. They can't talk about immigration because they've been told not to talk about immigration. They can't talk about their leader because he's a complete waste of space. No wonder for Labour MPs this year it's a silent night. I understand, Mr. Speaker, there's some worry that in this government we actually talk to each other. This is clearly not the case. Well, the Shadow Chancellor raises this issue. It's perfectly clear that the Shadow Chancellor and the leader of the Labour Party don't speak to each other at all. Perhaps he could confirm this, because I have an invitation. He is going to make a major speech tomorrow, and I've got the invitation. This is the invitation that's been sent out. Ed Miliband is going to make a major speech on the economy on Thursday. It won't have any new policies in it. Let me be very fair to the right honourable gentleman. I followed very carefully his interview on Desert Island Discs, and I think it's fair to say he's no longer a follower of Marx. He's loving Engels instead. I wish the Shadow Chancellor would occasionally shut up and listen to the answer. I don't know whether... I don't know whether... I will try and come to... I don't know whether...
Order! Other members can now follow the Prime Minister's advice to the Shadow Chancellor. We need a bit of order. The Prime Minister.
I may be alone in finding him the most annoying person in modern politics, but anyway, I'm sure... No. I think... I've got a feeling the Leader of the Opposition will one day agree with me, but there we are. The Prime Minister talks about salesmanship. We all know his brilliant salesmanship. This is the man that sold gold at the bottom of the market. That's the problem with the Prime Minister. He's got nothing to sell and he's useless at selling it. And while we're at it, I've got a bit more advice for him. This is the Prime Minister who went on American Idol with more makeup on than Barbara Cartland. This is the Prime Minister who sits in number 10 Downing Street. He sits in number 10 Downing Street, wondering...
Order. Leader of the Opposition.
He sits in... Oh, hold on. He sits in number 10 Downing Street, waiting for Shakira to call, waiting for George Clooney to come to tea. I got a bit of advice from him. Why doesn't he give up the PR and start being a PM? Yeah! Well, let me welcome the Right Honourable Gentleman back and congratulate him again on the birth of baby Samuel. I very much know what it's like, the noise, the mess, the chaos, trying to get the children to shut up. I'm sure it was lovely to have 2 weeks away from it all. And I know the Shadow Chancellor can't really do the numbers, so there's no point Wallace asking Gromit about that one, but let me give him the figures. The bank levy will raise £2.5 billion each year once it's fully up and running. Yes, 2.5 billion is, even the Shadow Chancellor can tell him, 2.5 billion's more than 2.3 billion. And with the magic of addition, if you have a bank levy every year, which we supported and he opposed, they said don't do it, remember that, we will raise 9 billion compared with his 2.3 billion. Even the Shadow Chancellor can work out that 9 is bigger than 2.3. I think he knows this just isn't working. Yeah. We've ended up with a Shadow Chancellor who can't count and a Labour leader who doesn't count. I mean, he was in the Treasury. What did he do? What did he do when they set up the regulatory system that failed? He did nothing. What did he do when they paid out 11 billion in bonuses to bankers? He did nothing. What did he do when they said they'd abolished boom and bust? He did nothing. He is the nothing man when he's at the Treasury and the nothing man now he's trying to run the Labour Party.